Hi everybody, welcome back to our Sunday afternoon, afternoon here, live. We are going to carry on with the little folio, the wildflower folio that we're busy making. And it's stretched out over sort of more sessions than I thought it was going to, but that's always the way. So anyway, this is the one, sort of the prototype, if you like. And I'm trying things out on here before I move them over onto the one that we are doing together. So it's not finished actually, but I decided that I would put a cover on it, because otherwise it's just a piece of paper really. So just to give it more substance, I have decided to put this cover on. It's just a piece of the wildflower fabric, I nearly said, the wildflower paper that we're using, and I've just used sari silk because that's pretty much all I had, and I'm coming to the end of my sari silk actually, and nothing is getting out of India because they're still on really strict lockdown. So whatever I've got, whatever I'll have to use until that situation changes. So I've got sari silk around there. I've put a little charm, little butterfly charm, because they're fairly prevalent throughout this paper. Just on a little bulb clip there, and then it just undoes. It's just tied around through an eyelet, and this is it inside. It's just the paper. Haven't done anything to it. I'm not sure if I will or I won't. I probably will, but we'll see. And this is the first page of our folio, and this is the page we're going to be working on today. And then you come to this page, which is what we did yesterday. We did ours in pink yesterday. And then in the middle, I've got my dried flowers, sandwiched between acetate. And we've now worked out a much better way of doing this, because this is a bit, it wants to stand like that all the time. It does bend, but that's its natural position in life, which is not really where I wanted it to be, but it's very, very pretty. But now we have more dried flowers, dried wildflowers. Well, they're weeds actually, they're grown on the side of the road, but I've elevated them to wildflowers. And I think that's nice. But we have now got a better way, we've devised a better way of doing that, so it's not quite so like that. And then this one's the one on the original where I had this sort of corner tuck. We changed that in the one that we are doing now, with the little tracing paper envelope, the swing tag and the trifold doodah. And on the back we haven't got anything yet, so that will be just to finish off next weekend, I think. And that's that. It just folds up, and it's quite a nice little thing actually, isn't it? And that just ties around there. So that's that. So I should have left that open so I can see what I'm doing today, because I need to copy from this one, because my memory just won't remember all the things I need to do. Sorry, I banged the microphone there. Sorry if it was a bit loud. So that's our pocket page. That's the envelope page. Oh, got a dried flower here. Don't know how that got here. Pretty though. I'll put it over there. That's the page we did yesterday, and it's nice. I like it. It's nice and bright and white and cheerful. And that's the other page, and they're the pages that go together with the acetate coming up in between them with the dried wildflowers. There we go. So today it's the day for this page, and this is, well, it's got a little tag at the back like that, and this was an envelope. This also was an envelope, and it's got a little tag in it there that pulls down, and there's just bits of decoration around and about. So let's see if we can't make one of those today. Right, well, the first thing that I need actually is the bit of paper. So I'll just fold that over. I've trimmed the edges off and it's not looking too square. I'll fold it to there. That's fine. And this is going to be the paper that we build our front page on, and then the 2 other pages get glued onto it with the acetate in between, if you get my drift. So we need this to build our page today. Right, I think I'm relatively organised. Relatively. I haven't got any envelopes like when I made the original one. I don't know where I found those envelopes, but there obviously was only one of them. So we're going to have to construct our own envelopes. So maybe we'll do that first. That's the tags and stuff. That's that envelope. So look how organised I am today. Goodness gracious. It's quite frightening myself. I hope you're all having a good day. I hope you're all having a good weekend, for that matter. We're just not doing very much. This is a template that I've looked at. I think I've used it. I might have even used it yesterday. I can't remember that far back. But it would do. That envelope would do for this job in hand. But actually, as it was, this envelope is the same. There must have been 2 of these, one in pink and one in this sort of weird colour green. So what I've done is I've dismantled that envelope. I do this quite often actually, so I get templates of things. And I've just literally put it onto a piece of card in a colour that I want and drawn round it. So, but equally I could have used that one. I don't know why I didn't, but you know. Who knows, eh?
A roll call.
Yeah, roll call. Let's do a roll call.
Miranda.
Hi Miranda, I haven't seen you for a while. Nice to have you back.
Hilda.
Hilda, lovely Hilda.
Roz,
thank you for joining me. Sammy.
Maureen.
Shaz.
Carol Beedin.
Hi Carol.
Donna.
Helen.
Jen.
Candice. Pat, don't forget Pat.
I think that's everybody.
Yeah, okay, well thank you everybody for joining me today.
And they're liking the dried flowers.
They're liking the dried flowers, even in the sort of semi... Look, I'm going to say this, that sheet of paper is erect. I've been fighting saying it all along, but it's in a very erect position. And I knew it would set Mr. F off. It set me off, actually. But it is, look at it. You know what I mean? So I need to persuade it to just lie down a little bit. But, don't worry about that, because I have the solution to that for the one that we're working on now. So let's just recap what we've got here. Dog's joining in. This is the envelope here that we're going to be building now, right now. And this is the smaller envelope here that flips up that we're also going to have to build because I haven't got an envelope that size. So that's what's going on.
Jen says she watched yesterday's live and yes, the butterfly did need some bling.
I know, I knew you would say that. But you weren't here, but I said it in your absence anyway, so I'm just going to cut this out and hope I've got it something like straight from that envelope that I was using as a template. It's really strange paper, this. It's very soft. It's like handmade paper, but I don't know what it is. It's strange. Yeah, Jen likes a bling.
I think it's a middle name.
Jen Bling Sinclair.
That's it. JB to her friends.
So what are you lot all working on? Please tell me. I've got another project going on through the week called I've Bought the Paper, Now What? Which I think it's a pretty good name, actually. I quite like it because I just imagine people buying the paper and going, yeah, I've got beautiful paper now, I really have. But you know, where do I start? What do I do? So hopefully that one that's running through the week, well, we've actually ended up making a journal, and I think it's lovely. I'm quite taken with it, actually. So, you know, that's what you do with the paper. You watch that series. I'm gonna make some playlists on my YouTube channel, so people can easily find, you know, when I made the boho journal, when I made this journal, put them all in individual playlists, so you can start at number 1. And if you're in the mood to binge watch, God, it's going to take you some time, but if you are, then they're all there numbered for you, ready to go one to the next. So this is a really nice colour, green. I don't know how well the camera's picking it up, but it's moss green. Moss green, let's go with that. So how does this work then? Right, these two get flapped over, so probably need to score a bit of something on there. As I was saying yesterday, you've just got to check that you're in the right line. Yeah, that's good there. Because sometimes, especially me, if I've cut things, they're not always straight on the edge, so you can't always get it buttered up against this side. So you just got to be careful. I've never made this envelope before, so I don't know about any of the pitfalls. I think I need to go a bit over. Don't know about any of the pitfalls of making it. I need to go that away, I think. Oh, goodness me. This is a strange one. Can't get it lined up. That line's there, so if I put that like that. No.
Ros says she's nearly finished the page to send to you. Should finish it today.
Oh, lovely. Look forward to receiving that.
Candice says she hasn't done anything today because her arthritis in her thumb joints is really painful.
Oh, Candice, I'm sorry.
She's having a lovely rest watching you.
Watching me struggle with this blooming envelope. What's going on here? That's that and that's that. So that must be the flap. The flappage. So the line is something like there, and this is always a bit of the downside of using sort of a random thing to make your templates out of. Should have stuck with the one I was using the last time. So that's there, and it comes down. Yeah, look at that. That's all right. It's perfect. What are you grumbling at? And this. Just have a look at this, just make my life a little bit easier. Put some marks on. But really, guys, I would say to you that any kit that you get that's got envelopes, tags, whatever, something that you think that you're going to use again in the future, or even if you don't think you are, because it's surprising what we use, just make yourself a quick template of it and get yourself a box or a folder or something. I'll show you mine. If you show me yours, this is my template box. It's huge. It's an A3 box, and it's just kind of stuffed with, well, it's got a bit of stolen wallpaper in there, but stuffed with templates.
Jean Saltzman's joined us.
Hiya.
She was so glad she got in time for that comment, Mr. F, she says.
Which comment?
Couldn't possibly say. It's the one above all the laughy faces, I think.
I bought the paper. Now where do I start? Words you don't want to hear in a public bathroom. Honestly. So I'm folding this, and I need to rub that bit of extraneous pencil off there. And fold these in, and then we should be all right. We should have an envelope. I should have folded it the other way because I've got all my pencil marks here. Yeah, I did a little video yesterday. Someone on the, I can't remember, and I knew I'd forget who it was. Was it Miss Saltzman? I can't remember her first name. Jean, who asked about purchasing coloured gauze, etc. I think she might have had you in mind, Hilda. And I showed you how to, I did a little video on our Facebook group, which runs sister group to this, Miss Paintalot's Junk Journal group. So I did a quick little video over there on that, how to colour your gauze. And we ended up with 2 different pink gauzes from the bandage that I'd bought from the chemist's or the drugstore, whatever you choose to call it, and they're perfect. You know, they're great for putting behind clusters or things that you might want to add. So if you haven't seen that, it's over on the Facebook page. Just pop over and join in. We'd make you very welcome. That's just needs a bit clipped off it. Maybe not that much, but never mind. Oh yeah, that much is good. Right, so I'm just gonna glue this down. So I'm gonna use Fabri-Tac because this is quite bouncy, this paper. So I'm gonna stick that down. Stick that down. Flop this over like so, to wipe up that extra glue that I don't want.
Jean says she's dying today.
Dying today?
Well, I'm not dying, I'm not even sick. If she watched the video that you did.
That's a relief, isn't it? Can you imagine if we were so bad we actually made people die?
I think the worst we've done is make somebody nod off.
Yeah. Yeah, which I can completely understand. Sometimes in the morning, I'm not the world's best sleeper. And sometimes in the morning I get up and I don't want to make a noise in the house and wake Mr. F up and Bobby and everything. So I put my earphones on and I sit and watch YouTube. Of course, what else would you do? So I'd forgotten what I was trying to tell you there. Nod off, yes. So I watch YouTube and then I wake up, the video's finished, we're on to something completely different, some man telling you how to keep fit or whatever it might be. And I've been asleep for an hour. So anyway, I'm making a bit of a meal out of this blooming envelope. Right. I'm just trying to see what I did here. So this is... Right. I must have stuck that down. Yeah. Okay. It's difficult when you've got a bad memory. So I'm going to stick this down here. This flap. And so we've just got an envelope that's closed up. That's all we've got, a closed up envelope. So if you've already got an envelope that you think is that sort of size or whatever, that's great. Just stick the flap down and we're good to go. Right, so on the other end to the flap, let's stick down properly. We're going to just slice the end off, just a little bit. Don't go mad here, people. Just a little bit. As little as you can get away with, really. It's just to open the envelope. So I think that's about as small as I can get away with. And there we go. We've got this. Right, so what we need to do with this then is decorate it back and front. So I've got... No, we don't need to decorate the back because it's sticking down. So I've got 2 pieces that were in the pages, the papers that come with it. They're just a little bit too tall. So I'm just going to take a tiny little bit off that.
Jen says That's what family time is all about at my house. My husband watching YouTube with headphones on and me watching YouTube with headphones on.
That is so true. It's so true. Whilst the television plays in the background, I might add. You know, there's generally some sport on that either one of us wants to watch. You know, cricket, rugby league, darts, whatever it is that one of us wants to watch. So it's sort of on bumbling away in the background whilst we sit there independently with headphones on. Honestly, it's ridiculous, isn't it? What's the world coming to? We actually had to have a conversation with somebody face to face. It would be very strange. So I'm just going to glue that down onto there for a bit of decoration. Oh, is that? Yeah, I think I'm all right. So that's the way it's going. So that's the way my pattern needs to go to. And I'm just leaving a very narrow border of the green showing because I like that. I like that effect. You could, if you wanted to, of course, cover it entirely. I just like this little border around it. It looks nice. Okay, so let's make the other envelope, and then we just have, all that's left then is just a putting together construction job. So this is the little template that I showed you yesterday. The central section, this section's 2 inches, 1 1/4 inch on each edge flap, and this top flap is 3/4 of an inch as well. So you know, I could just measure it out again, but it's just going to be quicker for me just to draw around it, I think. So that's what I'm going to do. It's not complex in any way. I devised this, so it can't possibly be complex. And if you had an envelope that's anything like this sort of size, use that. I just didn't have one. Well, I did, but it was like one of those little wages packet things. I didn't like it, so.
Flo just popped on to say hi.
Hi, Flo.
Miranda Holmes says she was dying today. She'd boiled some avocado skins and left them on the stove to cool, but when she came back, her other half had thrown them away.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness me, you can't trust them out of your sight. How annoying. I do love avocado dyed paper. I love it. It's a really, really, contrary to what you'd think, it's a really soft pink.
Dusky pink.
Yeah, it is. It's lovely. Mr. F did some for me a while ago, and it's really nice. If you're thinking of sort of shabby chic or a French sort of journal, it's particularly pretty, I would say, in that. Right, let's see if we've got these measurements anything like right. So, well, I'm going to score it, just because this is quite thick card.
We have some in the freezer. Generally, when we have an avocado, we stick the skin and the pit in a bag in the freezer and save them up.
Yeah, because otherwise it can be quite expensive because you're boiling them for ages. So that's a score line along there, then a score line along here, and then a score line just where that's going to fold over. I'm going to do that the other way actually. You'll see why in a minute. I don't know what the dog's barking at today. Poor little soul. We live in the middle of nowhere and he's got, you know, he looks out that window all day long and nothing ever happens for him. So when he sees even the remotest exciting thing, of course he barks at it. So these just fold over here like this, and we've left, that's very bad cutting out, isn't it? And we've left enough overlap on each so we can glue it. Let me just take that off because it's just poor. It's just poor. That's a bit better there. Oh gosh, now I've got a little overhang here. Dear me, I'd have been better off measuring it, I think. Yeah, there we are, look. Just really nice. Who knew? and that's going to fold that way, so the opposite way like that. And what's going to happen is that this is going to get glued onto there like so. All that's going to get glued down. I'm going to slide a tag in there, and then this here flips up and down like that. So far so good. I just need to glue this down. Thank you, my dear. Nice cup of coffee has just arrived for me. Once again, I'm using a fair bit of glue here because this card is quite thick. I don't even know where it came from. I don't know. I was just looking through my box of bits and I found this. Over on the Facebook group at the moment, we're having a poll to see what people like or don't like about the way I do my videos, lives, etc. It's turned out to be not very revealing at all. So I've cut these two out and they just should fit. Sometimes I astound even myself. To see what people like, didn't like, if they liked lives, if they wanted to see me in the corner, if they didn't, if they wanted videos that were more focused so you don't get any of this chit chat. And I think the general consensus is, if I'm reading it properly, that people like what we're doing now. They like a mixture of videos that are a bit more focused, that you can watch and learn a certain technique. But they also like the chit chat, and I like the chit chat too. I feel more involved, I feel more part of you. I'm just going to rub a little bit of ink around here. We haven't been overly heavy with the ink on this journal because I love the whiteness. I love the whiteness of the pages. Not something that we often get, these really white pages. This paper comes from, just in case you resisted the urge yesterday, I'll just tell you again, it came from chapter 1 papers. They're just gorgeous. I really, really love them. And this is called Wildflower Moments. They also do another one in that sort of series called Garden Moments, which inexplicably has ended up being a file on my computer. It's just like somebody bought it. I don't know how. And so that might figure. I think the two would mix together actually really rather well. So
some people have commented on your
just keep doing what you do. Jen, just, you could add something, if there wasn't a box there that particularly suited what you felt, you could add something. And some people, I'm sure it was Jen that just said, I'd watch anything you do, which is just so lovely. Oh, it did make me smile when I read it. Thank you very much indeed. I'm really honoured to have you lot. I know I am. I'm grateful. You're great gang of folks. And you're nice to each other as well, which is important. As you all know, we do not do this to make money, which is a good thing, because we don't make any money. Let me just check that that's the right way. Yeah, okay. I don't want to put it on upside down.
People say they love the friendliness of the lives. Maureen said that.
Well, I think the friendliness, yeah, I try and be friendly, but the people on the live chat are really, really friendly to each other. And that carries over to the group, to the Facebook group, where there's so many lovely people doing so many lovely things. It's really heartwarming is what it is. It's heartwarming. Right, so that's going to go onto there like that. So when that flips up, I need that to go that way. Do you get my drift? See what I'm doing? And I didn't glue that bottom bit there because that's where the tag's going to go. So don't glue the bottom bit because you're just going to have to unstick it, cut it off. And this is Aileen's tacky glue because it is, after all, just paper to paper. It'll hold it very nicely.
Deborah says this is so different than all the other tutorials and it's very personal.
Oh, Deborah, you left a lovely message as well yesterday. Thank you very much.
And Candice says, a finger took control yesterday and she brought all three. Kitchen moments too.
Oh, I looked at that. In fact, I'm not sure that's not still in my basket, actually, the kitchen one. They're really lovely, aren't they? They really are lovely. And I suppose they're the pages. They call them collage pages. But there's so many interesting bits on it that you could fussy cut out I had some little scrappy bits left last night after the live. And so I cut out all the butterflies that were on them rather than just chuck them away. So I've got those to use as embellishments. Lovely papers, really are. Can't speak highly enough of them. So now we've got to stick that into there.
Of course, we've now got a new nickname for everybody. We can just call them basket cases.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder how many things people, as a general rule, have in their basket on Etsy. Quite a lot. I've generally got about 9 things, I would say. And I don't think I ever get above 10 because I just think, oh, come on, that's silly. So when it gets to 10, I go through and I chuck out some that I'm just not going to buy. I mean, Mr. Fixit and I were discussing the other day about where I want to go, really, with the things that I do, the projects I make. And I said to him, I really just love, like this, what I'm doing here, this stuff. I love flowers and I love lighter, brighter pastels, really. Doesn't matter what shade it is, lavender, peach. I'm having a bit of a pash on peach at the minute. Just pastels. And I don't really want to change from there. I have made boho journals in the past. I've got one half made at the moment, but I don't have a real passion for it. I find it's more like work, really. What goes with what. And I'm constantly think, oh, does that look right? Does it not? And I don't have any confidence in a boho journal when I'm making one. Whereas with this sort of thing, I think it's just because I love it. I love, the colours and the flowers. And so, for the foreseeable future, guys, I'm really sorry, but I think this is what I'll be doing. So, time to bail out now if you're not a flower and butterfly person. So I'm going to stick this flap down. That those little measurements that I gave you on here, they're fine. I think they do the job. Oh, itchy nose again, goodness me. Right, so that just goes inside there, and I'm putting it about at the halfway mark. I'm just eyeballing it, I'm not measuring it. And before you stick it down for good and ever, make sure that you fold it. Otherwise, that's what happens, it won't lie down flat. So make sure you get it flat before you fold it over. I think that's probably okay there. So there is a bit of a gap from the actual fold line to the to where we've stuck it, and if you don't allow that, it just won't lie right, and then it'll bug you.
Maureen says she's got nothing in the basket because she bought it all last night.
Oh, what did you buy, Maureen? Tell us, please. I love to know what people have bought.
And Pat says, me too, I'm thinking of sending Fiona the bill. And Maureen says, hello, Pat, I think I might link my account with Fiona's.
Oh my goodness, I'm getting everybody into trouble. At the moment, the one I've got in at the moment is a calico collage one, and it's called In This Moment or Spring Moment or something, I can't remember now. But unfortunately, there's the journaling papers, there's an ephemera pack, there's about 4 or 5 different things all in that same pattern. And I'm just debating with myself how many of them I need, which obviously anyone knows you need them all. Pretty obvious.
I'm just perusing your basket.
Oh, are you?
There's 4 things in there at the moment.
Right.
Kitchen garden moments.
Oh, yeah. Told you.
Seed packet set 2.
Oh, yeah.
Summer day junk journal. And hydrangea
Ah,
digital
right.
junk journal.
You can knock the hydrangea off. I won't buy that.
I'll leave it. I've fallen for that one before.
Right, what's going on here? Look, let's get a grip.
If I knock one off, it's like giving you permission to get all the others. I'm not falling for that one again.
The unfortunate thing with me with Etsy is because I've had several accounts with them over several years, lots, long time. And Etsy's a bit of a funny site, really. If you put in the same name or what, it gets confused with email addresses. So what's had to happen now is that my account is linked to Mr. Fixit's email account. So every time I buy something, it pops up on his email saying, "Oh, thank you for placing your order of whatever it was." So I get found out all the time. Anyway, you only live once, eh?
Have I ever mentioned it though?
Yes.
Fair.
Yeah.
Anyone have to keep forwarding them to you?
Yeah, that's true. No, you're ever so good. You never say, "Oh, for heaven's sake, haven't you got enough paper?" You never ever say that.
Jean says her husband thinks Etsy is a new online friend because she's always saying she's on with Etsy.
That's good. Long may that last, eh? Long may you always think that Etsy is just your friend.
If you ever found that, just change it to Betsy.
Yeah.
I'm on with Betsy.
There's just so many lovely, lovely papers. Gorgeous papers. I'm really glad I found these ones though. These ones and the other ones that I got. What was the other one? There was the garden ones, and what was the other one?
The ones in your thing.
No, was it Carrie bought? I can't remember now who bought it. Bought all 3.
Kitchen.
Oh, the kitchen one, yeah. Yeah. I haven't bought that one yet, but yeah, it's in my basket. I'm just bringing this over so I can see what in the heck I'm doing here. Right, I can see. This is the doily that I sprayed green yesterday, and I told you about how I get the spritzer. It's not massively green. I didn't want it massively green. I just wanted it to match the border here. And you can see if you look at it against the white, it is actually quite green. So I want some of that up under there. I don't want the whole doily, I don't think. So I can put that down there like that, so it'll look quite pretty. But I don't want... it's about central there. So I need to tear it off there, just above there and up there. It doesn't come out the top, that, does it? I don't really want it coming out. No, of course it didn't come out the top.
Lynn says she has a funny story and why her husband can never say anything to her about shopping.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just waiting to hear the funny story.
So am I now. Right, so let's just get rid of some of this excess doily that we don't need.
Candice says she was fine until her husband retired, and now he meets postie and she can't get away with anything.
Oh, that's that. And Amazon, I don't know if they do the same in the States, but when they deliver here, it comes with a company called DPD, and as soon as they've dropped it off, they send you an email saying, your DPD driver Paul has just dropped your Amazon parcel off. How was the service today? So now everything that comes with Amazon, you've got to own up to. You can't just nip out and get it, say thanks very much, Paul. No, you can't do that anymore. You get blinking emails about it.
Candice just tells him it was all on back order.
This green, whatever you call it here, lace.
Jen says, sorry she missed that. Was the doily sprayed twice with the green dye?
Yeah, I sprayed it several times actually. because the green I had was quite watered down. Sprayed it several times. You weren't. Was Jen here yesterday? She wasn't, was she? No, because we said about the bling. No, what I did was I'd come to the end of using one of the distress inks.
That one.
Yeah, this fellow here, Mowed Lawn, and it just had no more ink to give me. It had been very good and done loyal service, but it had run out of ink. So I was going to chuck it out, and then Mr. F said, if you put water on it and collected the water in a receptacle, a bowl, i.e., and then put it into my spritzer bottle, either this one or this little Ranger. I wouldn't bother with these, they're so small, it's not worth the bother. Put it into a spritzer, and then you've got that colour in a spritzer, and it's kind of for free because you were going to chuck it out. So that's what I used for that, and I sprayed it several times, and I used my rubbish bin as a spray booth. I put it in the bottom of my rubbish bin and then sprayed it so it curtailed the spray going everywhere, which it normally does. And that's that. I sprayed it a couple of times though, you're quite right with that. So that's going to go there. This I dyed myself. Same way as I showed you how I dyed the gauze last night. But this was when I was just starting off and it's a bit patchy. But I don't mind it. I don't mind that at all. And I'm going to put that down there.
Candy says obviously you can buy the ink to re-ink it.
Yeah, you can. You can, indeed. But I quite like our method. I quite like what we use it for. I find it possibly more useful than the pad, really. So, yeah, you can buy re-inkers for sure. Let's get this stuck down, shall we? Let's get something stuck down at least.
Jen says, could you use old markers to do the same? And
yeah.
The answer to that is yes, as long as they're water-based.
Yeah.
As long as the water-based ink in the markers, then you can. I think a lot of people also use Sharpies to dye stuff.
Yeah, but they aren't water-based, are they?
No.
Yeah, you can definitely. And similarly, you can buy dead cheap kiddies. You know, the sets that they sell that's got stupid amount of felt tip pens in for not very much money. That never really work. They're never very successful as felt pens, but you can do the same with that. Take the core out, wet it, collect the juicy juice, and there you've got yourself a nice coloured spritzer.
Lynn says one afternoon 5 or 6 boxes were delivered to him. Not the little boxes, they were huge boxes.
Wow.
Everybody was around him when he opened it. There were knives and stuff from the online knife shop. I saw the invoice and read $350, almost fainted.
So it's not just us then that does the naughties. Mind you, it's really good, isn't it? You know, next time you get something delivered. I saw the price of those knives.
I just kept looking at him in the invoice and asked him what he was thinking. He said, I don't remember ordering, I think I did it in my sleep.
That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Oh my goodness me. Well, it's like this, Mr. F.
Yep.
I must have done it in my sleep. Actually, you know, it's not as ridiculous as it sounds. As I tell you, I don't sleep very well, but I also sleepwalk. Can you imagine it? I do sleepwalk, don't I? I fell down the stairs the other week, actually. That wasn't so funny. I kind of woke up when I hit the bottom. Let's try and get this on something like level. Oh, gosh. I'm so busy laughing at the situation.
Pat says she's bought bottles of Epsom printer ink before that can be watered down and used to make.
Ah, that's a good tip. Up. That's a good tip, Pat.
And of course, because they're, cyan, magenta.
Yeah, you make any colour you like.
Mix any colour you like.
Right, so I've got that green crocheted edge lace down there. So now I am going to stick that onto there, like so. Just check that. Yeah, that's perfect. So all of this gets stuck down, and the pocket there is where the tag goes. You could, if you wanted to, as ever, just stick around the 3 sides like that, and then you'd have a place behind as well for a tag. I'm just going with sticking the whole thing down, and I think that'll give us enough taggage. Yeah, I ordered in my sleep. Yeah, I've done some weird things when I've been asleep. I mean, we've reached the stage now where Mr. F actually hides the car keys, because that wouldn't be good. I'm not the world's best driver in the best of times, but I don't think when I'm asleep it would be good. But no, I've cooked things and done all sorts of things whilst asleep. I've evidently had lots of conversations with Mr. F whilst I've been asleep, which I really genuinely cannot remember. So there, let's put some pressure on that. So you see, we've built this and it's easily peasy, isn't it? You know, it looks quite nice. It would make a nice page in anybody's journal, I think, this. You know, we're doing it on a folio, but if you wanted to put a page like this in your journal, I think it would look really, really nice. Got some glue there. So what needs to happen now is I'm just going to put a little bit of decoration. Where does the decoration go? Goes onto that. Yeah, on this one I've just put a couple of die cuts and a little butterfly. So I might just do the same to this. See where my die cuts have got to today. Oh yes, I've got green. I forgot about that. How exciting. Yeah, I cut some green yesterday. I think that's possibly a bit big. Out of a patterned paper. Some paper that I just knew I was never ever going to use. And so I chopped it up, ran it through the Big Shot. That might be better. That one. I quite like that leaf one as well. What pink have I got? Well, actually I've got loads. Loads. Let's not go there. That's a whole pink pile. Oh, I've got this one. That's quite nice. Yeah, quite like that. Quite like that. Might make that a little assemblage. I'll get all 3 on there, do you think? Or is that just too much? Oh, quite like that, actually. Right, you're going to have to bear with me while I stick these down. Sorry, I know it's tedious. Well, a little bit tedious. I quite enjoy it.
Jean wants to know if you sketch your pages out or just do what you love most.
I certainly don't get sketching. I'm never really sure what I'm going to do, to be honest. I watch loads of YouTube, as I say, and I think at the time when I'm watching people, I think, oh, that's a really good idea. I wish I hope I could include that in a page sometime. But my memory genuinely is shocking, really, really bad. And I might remember certain parts of their page, but I don't remember how they got there. So anything that you see is kind of my take on things that I may or may not have seen on YouTube. I just tend to sit down and think, like this, I wanted to make flippy envelopes. So I just sort of worked around it until I had flippy envelopes. Just going to cut that off there. That's surplus. I'm going to cut it off there, actually. No, there.
Deborah says she had some Epsom ink left over from her old printer. She didn't get rid of it, and now she's glad.
Yeah.
And the general consensus is never throw anything away.
Oh, do you know, a while ago, I don't know, a year ago, say something like that, we decided that we really had to have a clean out, because I've got so many hobbies and pastimes that I do. You know, I like painting with acrylics, I like painting with watercolours, I like pastels, and all of those I've got loads of stuff for. So we decided anyway that I was going to settle on doing watercolour, and we'd get rid of all the other stuff, the crafting stuff, etc. Which we did largely, and now I'm having to buy those things back again, which is a bit annoying. So from now on, I mean, our house is bursting at the seams, but from now on, nothing is getting thrown out. I'm just going to bend that over. Good thing about these Paintalot dies is that the stem on them is so thin that you can actually make them go where you want them to go and bend them round a bit. I've just got this other one that I was going to add. Let me just check and see if I still want it. No, I think I'm all right with 2. I think 2 is ample sufficiency. So let's move on to, I'm just checking that I've got this right. Right, there's some of this that goes down the side, but by the looks of it, I stuck it on before I stuck the fancy paper. But never mind, it's not the end of the world. We'll put it onto the back here, like so. And I want it to end, it's got quite big flowers, this. So I sort of want it to end at the end of a flower, even if that means it's hanging over a bit. So I'm just going to cut that flower off there, because otherwise it's just going to look untidy and it'll annoy me.
She says she's just got a bigger house.
I need a bigger house because I'm a crafter. It's true. We're all as bad as each other.
You did have a 20-foot storage container.
Oh yeah, I wasn't going to own up to that. I did have, seen as Mr. F's let the cat out of the bag, I did have a 20-foot storage container, okay? And in that I had, well, everything. Because I used to paint furniture as well, you see. So I had almost loads of furniture that I'd bought to paint. That's still a bit long. In my storage container, I had all the furniture paint that I needed to paint this aforementioned furniture, and all the kit and caboodle that goes with that. That's fine. That's good. I'll stick that down. I also had just everything, whatever you can think of, didn't we? It was ridiculous what was in there.
Yeah, and I used to restore the furniture, so we had loads of woodworking tools and...
Yeah, we just had a lot of stuff, which we decided to empty at the back end of last year. And, oh dear me, it took so many trips to the tip, to the recycling plant, to the charity shops, to the auctions to put stuff in. It was madness. So glad the day that it finally got emptied. So I'm just putting that along there. Like I say, I think realistically it would have been better off putting that there and then putting the decorated paper over it. But actually I quite like that anyway, so I'm not sorry. So we're just going to have to pull that away from there a little bit, like that. Okay, so that still falls over. So that's nice. We've got the white lace down there. And then I've got a little bit of this, which goes down there, and we've used this somewhere else in this folio, so it's quite nice. It all joins together, got a bit of continuity going. So I'll cut that there. sketching my pages, no. I really, really wish that I did. We have a lady on here, Debbie Bankston, and she sketches everything out. She's very, very organised. But I'd just like to sit down and, sounds mad, doesn't it? Listen to what the paper's telling me that it wants, you know. Shabby chic. It has its own sort of voice. Certain things that you would definitely do. And I like coming up with really complicated, complex pages. I very, very seldom will you see me do a really easy page. Because I just love the complexity of the whole thing. So make sure that that's not right up over the top, because you won't be able to open it then. And just on the edge of there like that.
Deborah says she paints furniture with her daughter, but the market's very depressed at the minute.
Oh yeah, well that was what stopped us actually in the end. It was just so depressed. You know, nobody was buying anything. So we stopped doing that. And then I started painting because I had the time to paint.
Jen says she loves that tiny flower trim.
Yes, I do, Jen. I really love it. And I don't think there is anywhere in this country that sells it. I looked online for so long for this trim. And eventually I found it at AliExpress had it. It's really pretty, isn't it? It's nice. I like it. While I've got you there, I'll just show you. That's the lace there on the inside. And there's our envelope and our, that needs stuck down a little bit. So there we are, that's where we are at the minute. Let's put a little bit of glue into that while I remember.
And Jen says you're the paper whisperer.
Well, yeah, I do think certain papers lend themselves to certain things. I like shabby chic myself. Right, so now all we need are the tags. That's it, isn't it? That's all we need. So once again, like we did yesterday, I'm going to mount this onto some pink because I just like the look of it. So I just need to check and make sure that how wide I need that. I'm just going to put a little mark on there and make sure that this is going to fit on it. Oh yeah. Oh, that's all right then. I'm going to stick this down and then I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to ink round it first because you can see the white edge. Oh, and I want to put a butterfly on as well. One of those ones. I'm just going to do that now while I remember. That one? No. This one. Right, I'm just going to place that there. And there will be bling going on that today, of course, because JB's watching. So I just want to get rid of that the white edge of where it's been cut, rather more than ink the edges, as it were. That's fine. Right, so let's just stick this down. So this is a page really that all of you, no matter where you are in your journey, I think, could make. If you follow it along, do the measurements for the envelopes, and that's good practice for you. And I really think that anybody could manage this page.
Perhaps it's refreshing to see things being made without coffee stained paper.
That's what I think, Pat. Exactly. I just kind of got sick of the whole coffee stained paper look. I've been saying that for a while actually. And then this paper came along, and yeah, I'm absolutely certain. I'm sure that you could make a lovely journal with the coffee stained paper. But isn't it lovely being white? It's so fresh. Right, so I'm just going to cut round that, leaving that sort of margin if I can, all around it.
Jean says, yes, but over in the US, the stuff I see is so dark.
Yeah, I know, very grungy. I'm not a huge fan of grunge, to be honest.
No, if we do coffee stain, it tends to be
Very light.
latte, not espresso.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. So there, I've cut that out and it's got this really nice pink border and I really like that. It just lifts it a little bit, I think. So let's get my new toy out that I showed you yesterday. This one puts eyelets in, and that's what I put on the front, on the folio that we made here. So I tried it out this morning and put an eyelet in there. Look at that, it's so professional looking. So thank you, dearest Hilda, for that. It's amazing, amazing. I love it. So I'm kind of getting to grips with it. We'll say one thing though. I do shake. I take some medication that makes me shake. And crafting, this very kind of minute sort of crafting that we do and shaking don't go together that well. And that frustrates me sometimes. I know we all have our problems. Some I know have, arthritis and painful hands and whatever. My bugbear is that a blinking shake and it drives me bonkers sometimes. I'm just looking to see if I had any. Yeah, I've got some little pink ribbon here. So I'm just going to use a little bit of that. I just want to see what else I've got in the land of pinks and lilacs and what have you. I got this from Ali delivered the other day. Look at this. How nice is that? So I'll be using that at some stage. It's real dusky pink. It wouldn't have been expensive because I don't buy expensive things from Ali. No, there's nothing in there that's absolutely grabbing me, so let's have a look and see the lilacs. I haven't got very many lilacs. Oh, got a little bit of that. Yeah, I'll use some of that. And that's about all I've got in the lilac department. I've got this lovely one here. This is like satin edged voile. It's lovely. Really like this one. So I might tie my bow with that actually, so I'll leave that out. So I just want a little bit of this. This feels like one I've dyed myself actually, so very well might be. I'm going to pop those two through there. Are all of you watching the one that I'm doing through the week as well? We've been making some absolutely lovely tags. You've been sharing them with us on the group, and boy, are they great. And this week, hopefully, we'll get back to it.
Sharon says she can't work out how that hole punch works.
It's a mystery.
You need to sort of lay it on its side so you can see the mechanism, maybe.
Yeah, it's got three settings. This one here, there, is a hole punch. It's the larger one. Then it moves along. It's got a slider on the top. Moves along to the next one, which is this one here, which is a smaller hole punch. And then if you move it along to the end, it's got a series of raised little bobbles that you turn to suit your eyelet and then lock it down into position. The eyelets that I've got suit that one. So it spins around like that, and then when you've got the right one, you press it down, it locks that into position, and then you press down, it crimps it together. So it's called Crocodile 2, and I was very fortunate enough to be gifted this by Hilda, and I feel like the bee's knees with it. I really do. So thank you very, very much, dearest Hilda. Thank you. So I'm going to make a bow out of this.
And of course, the beauty of it is it will go right to the middle of a 12 by 12 paper.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Which is why it's so big.
Yeah, this is its throat space, you might say. So you can punch holes in anything that's. I'm trying to find something that's quite large. Say this was an entire sheet, you can get right across there. You know, that's at the end of its throat space there. Oh, I've got it on that setting. And I'm punching a hole there. So that's, you know, if that was a 12 by 12 scrapbook pad page, you can get right to the middle with this, which of course you can't with an ordinary little hole maker. So it's a fantastic piece of kit. Very, very lucky to have it. And I'm very grateful to Hilda for gifting it to me. You lot really are very supportive of our channel, and I really, really appreciate it. That's why I try and put out so many videos and lives as I possibly can. I mean, this last week we did a live Saturday and Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and then back again yesterday. So it's been quite a full and busy week for me, for both of us this period. And I don't think that I can kind of keep that intensity up long term. Some of them will definitely have to be videos, because there's less strain doing a video, actually, because if it all goes hideously wrong, and as you know, sometimes it does, then you just edit it out, just like it never happened. So yeah, there's a little bit less strain doing videos. And you can stop for a break, you know, you can do half an hour and say, oh, I'm going to have a brew and sit down, put my feet up and watch something for half an hour, and then go back to it. So you might see me putting out slightly more videos, and I know that a lot of you don't like to watch them because, you know, you prefer the lives, but, you know, please support me and watch my videos. And if you can think of anybody that you think would like to watch this or any other video that I do, please, if you'd share it with them, I'd be really grateful for that. Get the word out there. I'm making a bit of a hash of tiny bow, aren't I? That's it. Let's just trim that off so it's not going to fray. Can't even do that.
Flo says, whatever you put out is amazing, just do what you need to do.
Thank you very much. You lot are so kind. You really are. That's just too long. What are you playing at?
Well, Bob's got to go to the beauty parlour tomorrow.
Yeah, he's got to go and get clipped, finally. He's had one clip since lockdown ended. So that just slides into that bit that we cut at the top. These are a bit wayward, aren't they? That needs cutting off at an angle or it's going to fray. Right, so there we are. Is that it? Oh no, this little tag as well. I've got one somewhere. Here it is.
You haven't stuck the butterfly down yet either of you?
Oh, the butterfly. Correct. I haven't. I'm going to ink around him as well, because once again you can see that white where I've cut it, and I don't like to see that. I'm going to try and not colour the butterfly, just that white paper at the edge.
And Shaz wants to know, how is Bob's allergies?
Expensive, Shaz. Really, is all I can say. The doctor gave him a steroid shot, which really helped almost immediately, to be honest. Yeah, immediately, and gave him some tablets to take. And then he saw him again after a fortnight, and the steroid shot should have worn off after a week. So the tablets, if they were going to work, would have had a week, and we could see whether they worked or not. And they did, which was great. So when we took him back, he said, oh, that's, you know, good. It's obviously an allergy then. Carry on with the tablets for another month and a half. 2 tablets a day, £1 each for every tablet, £30 for the prescription from the vet. So yeah, at the moment he's an expensive little boy, but I'm glad that we're able to do that for him. He was so unhappy. He was just so terribly unhappy. I'm wondering now with the lilac on the page if that one might be better. I think so. So I've inked around that for nothing, but never mind. Save us the next time, won't it? But honestly, he's like a different boy. He's so happy. He's running around up the garden and just bouncing around. So, as I say, I'm glad that we can do that for him. Hopefully the vet thinks that by the time summer's finished, whatever allergy it was that he's had may go away. So, it might be grass pollen, tree pollen, whatever it is. And of course, we are hoping that too.
Certainly not the sun.
It's not the sun, no.
I don't think we've seen any yet, have we?
Not in actual summer. We had quite nice weather during lockdown. But as soon as they lifted the lockdown, the sun disappeared. So I'm just popping that on there. Yes, Jen, I can hear you. I can hear you from here. Let's put a bit of bling on that, shall we? Some of these little crystals. I'm going to have to order some more of these, actually. It's amazing how you get through them. I think one's going to be sufficient. He's quite a little fella. Or his waist, whatever you call it there, his body. It's quite little.
Pat says Poppy was like that. She changed her food in the end and that did the trick.
Yeah, we've changed his food. We changed his food to some vet recommended stuff. But it still didn't do any good. So the tablets are working anyway, so that's the main thing.
Jen says bling time.
Yeah, it's not. Don't get overly excited,
Putting
Jen.
my sunglasses for the glare.
It's one stone, okay? Don't get too excited by it. But it's my token to you, Jen. My token stone for Jen. I'll hold it up so you can see it twinkling. Oh, it's not twinkling. It really is very twinkly. I'll get closer. I'll be at your front door soon, Jen. It is twinkly in real life, I can assure you that's twinkly. So the only thing we need now is this, oh, I'm not doing too badly for time. This card that goes in there. So I'm just going to stick that onto some white paper. Oh, here comes Mr. F with a light to make it twinkle. Is that working? Oh yeah, a bit. Yeah. Yeah, you can see I wasn't fibbing to you anyway. Could you just pass me a little bit of white paper, please?
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks. So I'm going to stick that on there and cut them out because this is just one thickness and it's a bit fragile for a tag. And I keep saying this to you guys, but you have to remember that what we're making are journals and they're for people to write in, so you have to give people room to write stuff in. And this whole folio is not actually over endowed with spaces for people to write. So
Jean's off to church. She says thank you for the tutorial.
Thank you very much for joining us, Jean. Thank you. Yeah, of course, different times, isn't it? Blinded by the bling, says Maureen. That's just caught my... thanks, Fiona, you've made my day, said Jen. So I'm just going to cut round this and it'll be a bit thicker and people will actually be able to write on it. You know, whatever it is. It might be somebody's phone number, somebody's address, somebody's email address, a little... When I go to the shop I need to buy bananas, anything like that. You know what sort of notes you make. That's a typical one for us. When we go to the shops, must buy bananas. So I'm just cutting around both pieces together. What I need is a she shed. That's what I need. I haven't come close enough down there. Out the garden I need a great big humongous she shed. Right, let's just try that and see if that's the right length. It's coming out the top. That's funny. Yeah, could have done with being a bit longer, that. I thought that was longer. Oh, well, be alright, because we're going to put some frippery on the end of it anyway. So it'll be fine. I'm going to just ink around that. And I am just going to ink the back of this, because stark white, I know what we're all saying, it's nice to see white, but stark white that nothing's been done to, it does look a bit, yikes, that's a bit strikingly bright. So I'm just going to use my free stencils that I got from Sizzix when I cut out the die cuts, and I'm just going to use a little bit of one with whatever ink's left on there, just to gently go over that. So people can write on it, no problem. But it finishes it off. It looks nice.
Miranda said she'd love a she shed. And Sammy Jones says the problem is more space, you have to buy more things to fill it.
And that's a problem. Yeah, it's a problem. I think I've probably got enough stuff now to actually fill a she shed. I've got loads of stuff. They're all in the back room. I'm just going to move that onto the bigger one actually, because I'm going to put ribbon through it. There we go. And I'm just going to put this same colour that I put on the top to cut it off. I need some ribbons. I mean, I know I've got loads. I have got loads. But just before I came on, I was just looking for like chiffon ribbons and voile ribbons, that sort of thing. I'm just thinking I could use them.
That says Sammy she doesn't need the encouragement.
I don't. I really don't. I'm really bad. But we all are. I know it's not just me. Please help me feel better. It's not just me.
We need a branch of Overcrafters Anonymous.
Yeah. So I've just literally tied a knot in that, and I'm just going to cut these off just a little bit shorter. Like so. And
Jen wants to know if there's any car boots this week.
yeah, Wednesday, but it depends what the forecast's like, because it's been so bad for a while that it's an outdoor event, so you know, if the weather's bad, it's off. So that's that, guys. We've come to the end of our page. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you...
I will keep you up to date, Jen.
Yeah, Mr. F will keep you up to date, Jen. You won't miss out on any findings
I'm
that
due
you may have.
a trip to the charity shops, if not the car boot.
Yeah, that's true. So there we have it. There's our page. It looks, I think, very, very pretty. I love this trim. I love all this sort of frou-frou stuff. And that will go into our, that's the front page of our kind of folio thing. And we've got our other pages somewhere about, have we? Oh yeah, here we have. So that's the front page. Then you open it up, and what you will see is that there, this here, and cleverly inserted will be the acetate with the wildflowers, dried wildflowers. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. We've still got the back page to do. That's got nothing on it yet. So that will be next weekend's challenge, will be the back page, and I'll show you how to do the acetate and the actual folio holder, if you like. But it's coming on, isn't it? It's coming on quite nicely, actually. I quite like that. Oh yeah, look at all our dried flowers that we've got now. Look, we have a plethora. I mean, these are just little buttercups, and they dry so nicely. This crane's bill. Don't know what that is, but it's really nice. So, and this, I'm not sure what that is either, but it's really nice. So the next lot of acetate that we do will have, I'm curious about laminating them actually. I haven't run it past Mr. F yet, but it's kind of in my head that maybe laminating them might be better. But I'll work on that through the week. We'll work that out together, and I'll let you know what we're doing with regards to that. So there you go. There's my plates floweth over. And we're back to what we've made today, which is this, which is pretty, I think. So we're making progress, and I really hope you've enjoyed this weekend's lives, looking at progressing through this folio. I'm enjoying it. Oh, nearly covered your bling up there, Jen. Throughout the week there will be a mixture probably of, you know, a video and a live or something like that, but I'll create an event so you know what's coming up and you know what's going on, hopefully, as soon as I do. But I will see you through the week, and that's for sure. So thanks for joining me today, everybody. You're great. You're such a good support to me. You're very, very helpful. So see you through the week. Take care, everybody. Take really good care. Bye.
Bye.